You've just completed video 1 in part 1, which was the purpose of customer connections. Now, in video 2, we'll talk about customer meetings. When you think of a customer meeting, what comes to mind? Is it you sitting in a face-to-face meeting with a client? Or are you on the phone or video call? In this video, we will talk about the kinds of customer meeting you may find yourself in and how you can take every kind of interaction, scheduled or not, to become a customer meeting where it can eventually land to closing a deal. Let's start with the most obvious one. Let's say you have a face-to-face meeting with a potential client. The most important thing you have to know is if they are meeting with you, the ball is already in your court. They are already carving out the time to listen to what you have to offer. In a setting like this, where you already have an advantage, you'll want to be fully prepared with materials, questions, and talking points so it's easily accessible. The worst thing is to sit in a meeting where the customer is ready to listen and buy, but you don't have the collateral to get them to commit. The next kind of customer meeting is you are talking on the phone or on a virtual call. If you're jumping on a call, you'll want to be mindful of your tone of voice. More specifically, have an upbeat and energetic tone where it feels like you are happy, engaged, and interested. This is intentional because speaking with enthusiasm can get your potential customer to feel relaxed and connected. If your tone is monotone, too scripted, or unenthused, that's the quickest way to get them to disconnect. When on a video call, you'll want to think about how you show up on screen. Plan to turn your camera on even if their camera is off. Psychologically, just them seeing you can create a sense of rapport. Some other minor things to consider is make sure your camera is elevated so it's more straightforward. Also, think about being 2 to 3 feet away from the screen so you are nicely framed. In fact, take a look at these 2 pictures. It is a great example of someone sitting in the same spot with the same background. But because his camera is more elevated and 2 to 3 feet away, he looks so much more alert and present. And finally, customer meetings don't always have to be formal or scheduled. In fact, anytime you meet someone, you have an opportunity to turn it into an informal meeting. For instance, instead of just introducing yourself by saying you work for this company and are in X role, you'll want to ask questions about them first. It's only when you can learn a bit about them, such as how you both ended up at the same place, and even what they're interested in, that you can present information that'll resonate with them. Here's an example. If they talk about their family and how they're soon expecting a child, you can talk about how you recently had a conversation with someone who was expecting because of the work you do. You're not selling, but you're dropping clues about what you do. This will spark curiosity where they'll ask you questions about you, turning it into an organic conversation. Here are the key takeaways in this video. Customer meetings can be formal or informal. It can be you scheduling a face-to-face meeting, but it can also be you jumping on a phone or video call. Being prepared in each meeting is how you can present yourself properly. And finally, every conversation can turn into a potential customer meeting if you tailor it right.